And I'm quite humbled that you've all come to actually listen to me. So we'll start the basics of why would you all actually want to listen to me? It's not that I've done such fantastic things in the world, but hopefully I can inspire you all a little bit about what Mars stands for and why I'm actually so proud of the company that my great-grandfather really founded, or really, as we look at it, my grandfather is the one that really got it going. So I think there's a lot of history that goes with, why were we more private? And as you know, what you read and what reality is a little different. So, this secret thing that the media like to make it sound overly secret, it wasn't really about that. It really was about our brands speak for themselves. So my grandfather was very passionate about, it's not about the family, it's not about who we are, it's about our products, and each of our products should stand on its own. And so if I go way back in the beginning, you wouldn't even know that a Snickers bar was made by the same people who made M&Ms, or that we were also in pet food and we had Pedigree brand and the Whiskas brand. You wouldn't have known that, nor would you have cared. So, it came from a history of, it was about our brands, and they need to stand on their own 2 feet, and they spoke for who we were as a company. Well, time has evolved, and now it comes from all directions. So you have consumers, so let's start with our consumers, and consumers, we need our consumers to buy our products. They're interested in knowing who makes these products, and what does that company stand for. They're interested in knowing more about what's in their products. So this drive basically about, consumers want to know who is behind their brands. So we had to kind of go with that and say, okay, so we'll start to talk about the company and not just to let the brands stand on their own. Creating and sustaining an honest culture starts with recruiting the right types of people. Those with high standards of ethics and integrity. It's a critical starting point, which will then enable us to create and sustain a culture that's all about doing the right thing. Our associate concept, and you've noticed that I've used the word associate and not employee, is at the core of responsibility. It's about understanding some of the basic needs. Each associate is respected, and it's expected that they respect those around them. Each associate is valued for their ideas and thoughts, and they're trusted and treated fairly and equitably, regardless of where they fit within our system. In return, we expect them to maintain the highest standards of honesty and integrity, to accept the responsibility, take initiative, and speak up and be held accountable. As a result, we have a very egalitarian culture where we really minimize hierarchical focus. I've got to always be very careful because people automatically think that egalitarianism means equal. It's not equal, because clearly there are different jobs that carry more responsibility and more decision-making power. But we don't have special parking spots, we don't have special dining rooms, or any other such privileges. All of our functions are valued, and access to leadership is right there. It really comes from our principles, and if you read anything about Mars, and one of the things I'm proudest of is that we are very much a principle-based organization. We have 5 principles that really are the family values. Though they weren't written down until the 80s, these are the values and principles that we've grown up with. And so they sound very simple. They're quality, efficiency, responsibility, mutuality, and freedom. Very simple in some ways, very easy to deal with if you do each one individually. The real magic that makes Mars tick and really makes us work is you have to use all 5 at the same time. You're not allowed to trade off and say, I'll focus only on quality and everything else. No, that's not going to work. It's the magic of making them all work. One of our big principles is mutuality. And mutuality talks about finding win-win solutions versus win-lose solutions. So, if we're going out and working with suppliers, if we're going out and working with farmers, if we're looking at the agricultural part of the world, just the world, looking at the environment, how do we create win-win solutions so that we both win and it's not a win-lose. So that's always been our mentality. So that's kind of what's driven behind all our sustainability, all of our interest in making a better world, and because we're really proud about being a principle-based organization, that the principles drive it. That's why anybody that works for us, it's very much not just about the what. So it's not just about how well you're delivering your numbers. It's very much about the how. How are you behaving? How do you operate within the system? And so all that comes together, and that's kind of what leads to our sustainability program. And it's a journey. It's a journey, and it's not isolated. It's in partnership. We can't do any of these changes that need to happen. It's all about collaboration. It's all about working with others and finding solutions and looking at the long term. Efficiency is about using our resources wisely. And this includes our people, which is why we really don't like a lot of hierarchy and have a total open office environment giving easy access to everybody. In any Mars office, you'll find easy access to the leaders. There are no secretaries, there are to block your way, there are no appointments necessary. You can just walk up to anyone, including our president or any family member, and say, "Do you have a minute?" Or you can engage in a conversation that you've overheard and add your point of view, even if it is outside of your realm. Open offices really allow for sharing of information, co-creating, and creativity. It's efficient communication. And that brings me to our last principle, freedom. We need freedom to shape our future. We need profit to remain free. The associate concept gives the individual freedom to our associates. This principle is about being a family business. It's about operating the business in a way that enables the family to maintain the freedom to lead based on our 5 principles, driving the how, and focusing on making the right decisions for the long term. We're not driven by quarterly short-term results, and we as a family reinvest over 90% of their earnings into the business so we can continue to nurture it and grow it and make it into something that we can all be proud of. It enables us to invest into our associates, our factories, R&D, enter new markets so we can effectively compete with others. We like to make decisions quickly, and we can take risks wherever justified. We therefore actually thrive with associates that like to explore new ideas and take risks, perhaps when they don't even have all the data. We like the sense of adventure and strive to remain entrepreneurial, because that's what's been key to our success. Of course, we do need to focus on making sure we deliver the business results, and we do need associates that focus on those things. But it's not about making names for themselves. It's not about just focusing on the bottom line. We look for leaders who are inspired, and they're able to deliver results through collaboration, co-creation, and teamwork.